Welcome to Spenelli Speaks. Hi everyone, Danny here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a haul, and let me tell you, at first I thought this was going to be like a mini haul, and now the reason why I say that is I had not planned on doing a haul video, but I had been accumulating some books over the last couple months that were just like 2 here, maybe 3 there, and I didn't put them together for a video, and then all of a sudden when I did, there's actually quite a few books here. So this is kind of a mini haul, I guess I would call it, compared to most of my bigger hauls. But these are from all different areas. So some are from Bethesda, some are leftover books from my wedding, and then some are from the dollar store. And then my last little pile is actually from Barnes & Noble. Yes, I bought some books from Barnes & Noble because I had a gift card. That is the only reason why. Y'all know I do thrift store hauls. So if you are new here, I hope you take some time and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. So let's go ahead and first go through all of the books that I ended up keeping that were left over from my wedding. Now, if you follow me, you know that I recently got married in October, and I had a literary themed wedding, and my favors to my guests were books. So I had been collecting and purchasing books all year round, and then ended up giving them and gifting them to my wedding guests. I ended up keeping a few of them, not too many. You'll see my pile is quite small. But the rest of all of the books I did send home with my mother, and there is a group that she knows of called Support the Troops, and they will send those books to servicemen and women overseas. So yeah. So this is the small pile that I ended up keeping from the wedding, and there is a little bit of variety here. I ended up keeping Lilies of the Field. You can see that this is a very short book. I have seen the movie with Sidney Poitier. It's beautiful. This is a very old copy. You can see it's very brown inside or yellowed inside. I am excited to actually read this. I didn't realize it was a book. But yeah, copyright 1962. So that's the first one that I ended up keeping from my wedding. I did pick up an Agatha Christie, so we have 5 Little Pigs, so that's a little nice little novel that I can read next. I'm pretty sure this is one of the Poirots. Yep, Hercule, whatever, Poirot. I also picked up one of the Marples, which is The Moving Finger from Agatha Christie. So this is one of the Marple series, so we picked up one of those. Lord of the Flies. I have not yet read this one, but I kind of am excited because I think this is really referenced a lot in other literary material, as well as movies, films, TVs, that kind of stuff. So I'm excited to actually read this. I did not have to read this in school because we actually ended up reading The Giver, and the other class read The Lord of the Flies. So I lucked out. The last adult book that I kept from my wedding is a Debbie McComber. You know that I like Debbie. And this one is the Cedar Cove Christmas. I do believe Cedar Cove was made into a series on the television. Whatever. So I don't have this one. I have not read this one. So I think I might read this holiday season. Then, if you know me, you know I love Roald Dahl, and these are some of the books that I don't currently have. So we have, is this S.E. Trout? I don't know, it's really, really tiny, but I don't have this one yet, so I decided to pick that one up. I did not have a copy of The Witches, so I was glad to pick that. The Enormous Crocodile, I've never heard of this one, so I'm excited to look at that one as well. The Magic Finger. I'm just so excited to have picked up all of these doll books. And then we have The Giraffe, and The Penny, and The Me. And Me. And Me. I'm putting the in front of everything. So there's another. And then I did not have James and the Giant Peach. And I'm kind of sad that I don't have like they don't match. These covers don't match because, as you can tell, a lot of these are all similar styles. But I'm going to be okay with that because I do remember when I read this as a child, I really liked James and the Giant Peach, and I really liked the film adaptation as well. So I'm going to be okay with that. I do love James and the Giant Peach. It's one of my favorites. So I'm glad that I actually ended up picking that one up. I actually found Stuart Little and not the movie cover. I read this one when I was a really, really small child, and I just remember loving Stuart Little. It was just such a good, good book, and I'm excited to have it for myself now. And then the last one that I have left over from my wedding is Madeline's Rescue, which, if you know Madeline, she's a precocious little girl in France. But the best thing I love about Madeline's stories is the illustrations are just so beautiful, and I love all the little girls and the nuns. I just really love this story. You can't go wrong with a good Madeline story. So that was one of the other books that I picked up from my wedding leftovers. Let's see, what should we do next? Let's do some Bethesda finds. So these books I picked up from Bethesda. I think it might have been when I was out with Laura last time she was here. So that was back in September. I promised myself I wasn't going to buy any books, and of course, this is what I ended up with. So I picked up We Were the Lucky Ones, which this was 99 cents. I believe this was on BookTube a bunch earlier in the year, I want to say. And I remember hearing good things about it. I'm not quite sure what it's about. Looks like a historical fiction, which I'm all about. Yep, 2017. So I'm excited to see what that's all about. I also found The School of Essential Ingredients. This cover is just beautiful. I love this cover. It says, Once a month, on a Monday night, 8 students gather in Lillian's restaurant for a cooking class. Among them is Claire, a young woman coming to terms with her new identity as a mother. Tom, a lawyer whose life has been overturned by loss. Antonia, an Italian kitchen designer adapting to life in America. And Carl and Helen, a long-married couple whose union contains surprises the rest of the class would never suspect. So it looks like they are a cooking class and should be a lot of fun. But I was just really drawn to the cover. So I'm a cover buy kind of girl. It was 99 cents. It got in my cart. I found another Agatha Christie. So we have The Murder on the Links. If you follow my channel, you know that I recently read Murder on the Orient Express, and that was pretty good. So I have been trying to pick up some Agatha Christie's. This is in like mint condition, 99 cents. Then I was super excited to find this one. This was The Bookshop on the Corner by Jenny Colgan. Super excited to find this. Obviously, this has been talked about all over BookTube this year. I'm very, very excited to read this. 99 cents. And then the last one that I found at the Bethesda, again for 99 cents, is The Storied Life of A.J. Is it Fikry? I have no idea what this is about, but I have been seeing this book like everywhere, and just like the visual of it, and I'm like, this cover is just so intriguing to me. I just love the vibrancy, and so I want to read it. It says A.J. Fikry's life is not all what he expected it to be. He lives alone. His bookstore is experiencing the worst sales in its history, and now his prized possession, a rare collection of Poe poems, has been stolen. But when a mysterious package appears on the at the bookstore, its unexpected arrival gives Fikry the chance to make his life over and see everything anew. Okay, so it's about a bookstore. I mean, what else can you do? What else can you be? I don't know. I can't talk. I just want to read it. Okay. Next pile is a pile that I just am getting more and more completely blown away by what the dollar store has to offer. All of these books I got at the dollar store for $1. The first one is a middle grade book. It's called The Magic Misfits, and this is by Neil Patrick Harris. So we all know Doogie, and I have not seen this or read it, but Lemony Snicket has a little piece on the back, and I'm like, hey, if Lemony Snicket thinks it's good, I want to read it. Plus, Neil Patrick Harris, hello, Doogie. I will read anything that you have. If you have read this one, let me know. I really would like to know what you think. The cover is amazing. It looks like some kind of magician, something or other is happening, but magic and a bunch of kids, why not? So that was $1 at the dollar store. I also found this one, The Invisible Guardian by Dolores Redondo. The cover. is the only reason why I bought this. This cover just is beautiful. It looks like it's probably a thriller because it says a thriller right there. When the body of a teenage girl is found on the riverbank in a remote area, the crime appears all too similar to another murder committed only months prior, igniting the worst fears of a small community. Homicide Inspector Amalia Salazar, a strong, borderline obsessive investigator, is assigned to the case. After all, she knows the area, this beautiful, peculiar backwater steeped in the blood of a Spanish Inquisition, where pagan beliefs will flourish under a thin veneer of modernity. Better than anyone, forced to return to Ilzando, a place where she always sought to escape, Amaya is tasked with finding a serial killer on the loose. Well, yes, please. This sounds very intriguing. I just love, I mean, this looks like it's like a face here, but it's all like bushes and twigs and stuff. And then there's this, obviously this might be the victim, but I'm usually not into thrillers, but this cover just blew me away. Again, at the dollar store for $1. So these are brand new books. Then, I can't believe I found this one. I was just blown away. But this is a 10th anniversary edition of Sherman Alexie's The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian. Now, I love Sherman Alexie. I saw him speak at a book festival a couple years ago. Amazing speaker. He is funny and charismatic and intelligent and just so proud of his heritage and his family, and his books are excellent. Now, they push boundaries. They are books that are often banned from schools, and I love it because, you know, if your book gets banned, you know you are pushing boundaries, and well done, sir. So I was so excited to find this for $1. I can't wait to read this. It looks really interesting. I always love his covers, just so fascinating. So I am excited to read this. If you have read this yourself, please let me know what you thought. Then this one, I'm not quite sure why I bought this. Probably because it was $1 and I was like, if I can get this for $1, I'm okay with that. I obviously probably don't need this right now. Well, probably. I know I don't need this right now. But this is Jillian Michaels' Yeah Baby. So it's clearly for people trying to harness weight loss during a after baby kind of time. So I figure at some point in my life I will need this, and for $1 I might as well pick it up now. It clearly was at Target because it's got a Target sticker on it, but I bought it for $1 at the dollar store. Booyah! Then y'all know how much I love Jane Eyre and how much I disliked Mr. Rochester. Well, I decided to give him another chance and read a book about him. So this is Sarah Shoemaker's Mr. Rochester. It is a novel, obviously, a pretty big one. For 170 years, Edward Fairfax Rochester has stood as one of literature's most romantic, complex, and mysterious heroes. Sometimes haughty, sometimes tender, professing his love for Jane Eyre in one breath and denying it in the next. Yes, sir. Mr. Rochester has 4 generations mesmerized, beguiled, and yes, baffled fans of Charlotte Bronte's masterpiece, but his own story has never been told. So I'm kind of excited. I mean, this is a little bit of a chunkster. I think it's over, yeah, it's over 400 pages, but the cover is beautiful, and it was $1, okay? I can't go wrong with $1. So I'm going to read this. I think I might reread Jane Eyre and then read this, or read this and then reread Jane Eyre. I don't know. Jane Eyre was so good. I loved it so much. So, $1. Then this beauty, OMG, for $1? $1. If you are a Twin Peaks fan, you are going to have a jaw drop right now. I have The Secret History of Twin Peaks. What? What? This looks freaking awesome. So you take this little thing off here, this leaf, this whatever they call this thing, inside papers. Look at this. It's the woods. Oh my god. Oh, I'm such a dork. Okay. So look at, it's like the investigator notes and stuff. So like as you kind of go through here, there's like, it's like the files from the investigation of the murder. Oh, snap-a-doo! This is going to be so interesting. Like, I'm going to have to rewatch the whole series in order to like really have any of this stuff sink in. But I mean, hello. I mean, I'm a nut job, but this is so awesome. I mean, I got this at the dollar store. At the dollar store. I mean, hello. That's all I have to say about that. Oh, wow, there's look at how pretty that is. There's an owl right here. I didn't even see that because these things that I can't remember what they're called was in the way. Unreal. I couldn't believe I found that. I almost bought one for my friend. I should have probably done that, but considering it was only $1, Danny. But anywho, those were the books that I found at the dollar store. Now, the books that I spent the most on, literally, the books that I spent the most on, of which I had a gift card that covered the majority of them, I still paid more for those books than I did for any of these books, are the books that I got from Barnes & Noble. Now, all of these books are books that I am reading next year. So these are all going to be on a TBR next year. All but one of these books, I will be, well, all but two of these books I'll be reading with my book club next year. So my personal book club, we are reading all books that have a corresponding film. So I picked up Interview with a Vampire by Anne Rice. I actually kind of like this cover. I have Pandora, which I haven't read, but that cover I'm not really keen on, but this one's really interesting. I think this is the newest cover. So this was technically $8.99. Like, I don't spend more than $2 on a book, but I did have a gift card. So I ended up spending, it was like $69 for all of the books that I bought. Yeah, all of the books. $69 for this little pile of books. Unbelievable. But I had a $50 gift card. So technically I paid $19 and some change for all these books. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So technically I paid $4 a piece for these books, which is still more than what I typically pay per book. But realistically, I have to, because they're part of my book club, the chances of me going to a thrift store and finding them pretty slim. So I just bit the bullet, used my $50 gift card on these books, and called it a day. So Interview with a Vampire. I got The Lost World. As you remember from one of my past hauls, I picked up Michael Crichton's Jurassic Park. So I went and just got the other one, and I was so pleased that it like had a matching set. So I was like, yay! So I ended up getting Lost World as well, because I'll be reading that next year. I picked up Joanne Harris's Chocolat, because that will be reading in my book club. So the Lost World book at Barnes & Noble is $9.99. Chocolat, $17. Like, who pays this much for books? Are you insane? Oh, I'm so happy I had a gift card. And then my book club, we're going to be reading a Stephen King. I did not know this was a novella. I'm super excited. This is Rita Hayworth and the Shawshank Redemption. And Shawshank Redemption. I'm sorry, I keep putting thes in front of everything. But we are going to be reading that in my book club, which I'm super excited about. And last but not least, I had to go and pick up Gabriel Garcia Marquez's 100 Years of Solitude, because I will be reading this book with my very good friend Noah over at Everyone Who Reads Must Converse, as well as Christy Lewis. I believe there's a couple of other creators that are going to be participating in that, but Noah is the head of that read-along. I believe that starts in January, so watch for some announcement videos in, I believe, December. But I'm super excited. I'm pretty sure I have the same copy that Noah has. This at Barnes & Noble, $16.99. So I'm excited. The letters, like the lettering, look at how dense that is. I mean, look at this page. There's not even a break in sentences. I wonder if this is one of these authors who like has run-on sentences forever and ever. Like look at that. There's like no break in paragraphs. Oh my gosh, no breaks. I mean, look at this. That's some dense reading. But I'm very excited. I love reading in groups. You get so much more out of the conversation when you read with a group of people. So I'm really excited. those are all the books that I have gotten. I don't know like a final total. Like I said, this has kind of been accumulation over the last couple months. I got them from different places. You know about Bethesda, basically 99 cents a piece. Basically Dollar Store was all $1 a piece. All of the ones left over from my wedding, I really can't say because some of those were purchased by my mother. And then all the ones at Barnes & Noble, I kind of gave you the back page price, and then I had a gift card that I only ended up paying really $4 a piece, so for brand new books. So there you go. So yeah, that's my mini haul. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you're reading something great. I hope you're subscribed. If you're not, make sure you do, and you hit that notification bell. And until next time, I hope you're staying safe, taking care, and you know how it goes, guys. Happy reading. Bye.